morning, friends. So today we'll be starting with the topic security models in Salesforce, and we will be going to cover these three security model, that is object level, field level, and record level. The intention for this video is to cover as much as we can cover for the record level security, because this will be a bit tricky one, and we'll try to cover whatever we can cover for this one so that it will be easy once we get any scenario. So just referring, if you know the concepts, it will be easy to crack all the scenarios. So let's start with, so basically when we talk about the security in Salesforce, so the Salesforce is mainly deals with the data. So when we talk about the security model, actually we are talking about how to secure the data. So to secure the data in a Salesforce, we have three options available. Either you can go with the object level or field level or record level, or sometimes it will be a combination of these three. So first of all, when I talk about the object level security, so before that, like if anyone wants to use the Salesforce required the user. So if we know, like if particular user or if any X person want to use the Salesforce, for that person need to have an account, or that person need to have a user created in a Salesforce. And like if we say like the user is required, then obviously the profile is required, because user cannot be created before the like the user cannot be created if you don't have the profile. So actually what is profile is, so this profile tell us, like this profile tell us what this user, what this user is permitted to do inside the org. Let me tell you a short example. So like we have say for example, say we have this college, this is the college, okay, and we have, these are the number of students coming in, and suppose this is a college gate. So when you want to enter into this college, there is a gatekeeper. Okay, so this gatekeeper will ask you, like if you want to go inside the college, show me your identity. So maybe you are going as a student, or maybe you are going as a teacher, or you are maybe going as a guest. So what they will try to identify is, if you are going as a student, so you have certain action, or you are permitted to do certain action, that is nothing but your profile. So for example, if you go as a student, you can go and you can attend the class, maybe you can play inside the college. So these are the few actions, or these are the few things we can perform if you go as a student. But you cannot go into the class and take a class. But if you go as a teacher, then you will have another profile, or you will have another set of action which is permitted for you. So like if your profile is a teacher profile, so you can perform the action which are permitted for the teacher. For example, he can go, he can take a class, or maybe he can give some example to you, likewise. And if you are going as a guest, so this guest can do another set of action. So these are the another profile assigned with this guest user. So as I said, like every user need to have a profile. Okay, so what profile tell us? This profile tell us whenever this profile tell us whenever this user go inside the org. Now consider this is as our org. So when this user go inside the org, what this user is permitted to do. If this teacher, like this is another user, if this user go inside your org, what this user is permitted to do, same like for this user. So this profile will tell us, like okay, this student is permitted to do. Now permitted to do means, here inside the Salesforce we have objects, so we have a different objects. Say this will be a X object, this will be a Y object, then this will be a Z object, this will be a CW object. So this is like, these are the objects available inside the Salesforce org, and there are number of users. So if I say this user go inside this org while login, so once this user is able to log in inside the org, he will be going to do something, and that something will be decided by what kind of profile or what kind of permission this user will be having onto this profile. So if I say this user is permitted to access say X object, so in the profile, if I say this user is permitted to access the X object, so he will be going to get the permission for X object. Then for a Y object, so he'll be going to get the permission for Y object. So this is like, in short, what exactly the profile is. So here, so when we talk about the object level security, so in object level security we are mainly dealing with the profile and the permission set. I will be creating a separate video for profile and permission set. So here in a profile, so I told you, like, profile is what are the action permitted permitted for the user once he logs in. Okay, and saying like there are few permissions or access we can provide through permission set also. So these are the two things are required when we talk about the object level security. So for example, for a user, say a particular object is not visible. So say is a situation like you log in into your org and there is a say object called employee, and once you logged in, now you are in a situation that you wanted to do something with the employee object and the employee object is not visible to you. So first thing should come to your mind, the first thing which should come to your mind is, do you have the permission for that object? Which permission? Do you have the object permission? Like, once we have the read and write permission for an object, then that object will be visible and you can create a record inside that object. Maybe you cannot see the tab, so that tab permission, whether you have a permission to view the tab or not. So this kind of permission, whether the object will be visible to you, whether you can create the record in the object or not. So related to object, see, there are two things. There is the object and inside the object we have a record. So here I'm talking about the object. So it may so happen that you logged in inside and you wanted to create a record, but to create a record you want to have an object. So if at all the object is not visible to you, it will be difficult for you to create the record. So why you are not able to see the object? So first thing is, like, do you have, as a user, do you have permission to access to that object? If you don't, then definitely you have to go to your profile and you have to check whether this particular user is having maybe a write or create permission, whatever action you want to perform, also a tab permission. So these all are available in profile. So once you talk about the object level, so it will be like a profile. So if we have permission for a particular object onto the profile, then you can do read or you can write operation onto the your object. Okay, same thing can be given with the permission set also. So just a small arrangement we have done with the permission set. So I'll just tell you in short, because the main intention for this video is to cover the record level security, but I'll tell you like what exactly the permission set is. It must also happen that there are a number of users, say there are say 100 users, and I just said like for each user we required a profile. So now there are two objects, say object A and object B, and there are 100 users. But now situation is this, all 100 users are carrying see their profile. So they may be a same profile, they may be a different profile. Now for example, say this all 100 users are carrying same profile. Now what I want for this all 100 user to have read write permission, say read and write permission on A, and out of this 100, I'll say 98 I want read write on object A, and I want just two user also need to have permission for object B. So here out of 100 user, 98 user will be having a read write on a object, and there are two users. For them I want, they also need to have extra permission for B. Now this can be done in two ways. Either you can create two profile, so one profile for this 98 user and another profile for this second user, or these two users. But Salesforce says, like, don't do in this way. How we can do it? Like, just create a single profile, and give the common permission profile, and give the common permission. So what is the common permission here? So I want this 98 and 2 need to have the read write on A. So what I'll do, I'll create a single profile which will be having this, and this I'll give to all 100 users. This I'll give to all 100 users, and then I want this extra permission, something extra if I want this. So I'll create one permission set. Inside the permission set, I'll only create the permission for this two object, sorry, for this second object, this B object. Okay, and this permission set I will assign to this permission set will be assigned to this two users. So either you can go with two different profiles, so one is for this, one is for this, or you can have another option, that is create a single profile and give the common permission. So common permission is out of this 100, 98 and 2. So this 98 want this two user also want this and this, so this extra will be given by the permission set. So that will be the concept of, say, permission set. Now next we'll come up with the field level security. So in a field level security, say I have, say, 10 users. So I want all should see the object. Okay. So if I say they all should see the object, that means from object level security I need to provide object level security need to be given to them. But what I want, say, for my object, say A, there are, or I can say there is an employee field. In an employee field I have employee object, and in an employee object there are 10 fields. What I want for this 10 field, I want few field is visible, I mean, out of this 10 users, I want for 8 users, I want all field should be visible, and for this two user I want some fields should not be visible. That means I wanted to give, or I wanted to show the object to them, but I wanted to hide the fields from the users. So that can be done by, like, I just want to control the field access. So whatever I don't want to show all the fields to all user. What I want, some of the user can see all the fields and some of the user cannot see all the fields. So that kind of security I can achieve with the field level security. Now Now the today's main topic. So this is just the basic level of information I have given to you on a record level and sorry, the object level and field level. The main intention is to cover the record level. What is record level? Okay, so when you think about the record level, so I told you, like in Salesforce, it's an object. So if object is not visible, it's object level security. So as a user, if you cannot at all see the object, so first you will check the object level security, this profile you will check. If you're not able to see the field, again in the field level security, we again have same thing, the profile and permission set, same thing. So user is able to see the object, but now user is not able to see the record. So now we are came to another finer area. So from object to it's a record. So object is visible. Now we are just trying to see like how this record level security through, or how we can use this record level security to achieve the security on a records. Now what exactly the records, I'll tell you here. Now see, this is my Salesforce org, and there are a number of users. Say this is, say, A user, this is, say, B user, and this is, say, C user. These are the three users which they are accessing the this org. Now, in this org there is an object called employee. Now they all these three are having the same profile, so they have a same profile. So same profile means they can see the object, they can create a record, same profile. Okay, now this A created 10 records, this B created, say, 10 records, this C created 10 records. So in total there are 30 records available inside the employee object. Now question is, as a user A, how many records I can see, or as an admin, I want to decide like whenever this A user login, see there are total 30 records available. So for admin there are 30 records available in an employee object. Now the admin will try to decide when the user A login, how much of record he wanted to show to a user A. Same thing when B logins into the org, how many record we wanted to show to the user B. And when the C user login into the org, how many record we wanted to show to the C. So we wanted to hide, or we wanted to hide the visibility of the record from a particular user. So it is not about the object. See, object is visible to everyone. That means I said like they are having the same profile. So on a profile level security, they have a same access. Now it is just a bit finer at the record level. We wanted to hide like when A, because right now there are 30 records available into object because they created 10 10 10. But when A login, do you want to show all 30 or you wanted to show only 10? That kind of things we wanted to achieve in a record level security, and that is bit important things. Because like for example, say for a banking there is an say object where all the agents are working. So maybe there are, say, three agents, and they are trying to get the information leads from, say, outside. So maybe this customer is trying to get the lead. So suppose he got 10 leads. Now this is also working on the same record. So it may so happen that this record, this 10 record which is created by user A, visible to user B. So B can go and go ahead and directly contact to that particular leads and try to convert them into the customer. So we don't want it to show data of one user to another user. Or maybe sometimes we wanted to show, maybe this one, say A wanted to go on leave and he wanted to share his lead or his information to B. So this all can be achieved, this all we can try to achieve in a record level security. So first of all, the record level security, is achieved via OWD, that is organization wide default. Okay, in organization wide default there are three type, there are three levels. First is the OWD can be private. The OWD can be public read, right? Public read only. And third is, this can be public read write. Okay, so we'll see what is private, what is public read write, and what is public read only. Okay, so what is private means? So here private means, if I talk about this diagram, so these three user, they created their 10 record. So I want this 10, say private means this user A can see his own record, user B can see his own record, and user C can see his own record. I'll tell in very simple language. In Salesforce, as a user, you have two types of record. That is, first is the record created by you, or rather you are the owner. And another type is the record created by other user, for which you are not the owner. So in a org, like for example, if you see this org, so there are total 30 record, but for user A, he is the only owner of 10 record. For 20 record, he is not the owner. For B, he is only owner of the 10 record, but this 210, say this one and this one, he is not the owner. And for C, he is the owner of his record. This 10 and this 10, he is not the owner. So there are two types of record available in Salesforce. First, the record created by you, or I can say you are the owner of that record. And another is the record created by other user, so you are not the owner for this one. Okay, so what private means? The private means only owner can see the record. That means this A is the owner of this 10 record, this B owner of this 10 record, this C owner of this 10 record. So when they log in, this A only can see this 10 record. This will be not visible to them. I'm talking about the private. When you say about this B, so he is only able to see this 10 record, he is not able to see this 10 records because he is not the owner. And C, he is only able to see this 10 record, he will be not able to see this and this. So only owner can see their own records. So that is about the what is a private means. So only the record owner can see their own record. Now the second is public read only. So what a public read only means? This A can see 10 record. This A can see this also record, but these two records are a read only view to this A. On this A, he may have read write, but definitely on this two, this record by B and record by C, they will be only going to have, for record B and C, they'll only going to have a read access. That's why public read write. So whatever record by the other public, they have only read only. So for other record, they have a read only access. So user A can have or may have, depending on, I'll tell you how to guess that, but for time being you assume, like for here he's having 10 record, he's having 10 record, and he's having 10 record. So for this A, this 10 and this 10 visibility is available as a read only. So on this record, definitely it's the owner. So if A is the owner, so on this 10 record he can do anything. But for this 10 record, this record by B and record by C, they are available as a read only record. That is nothing but your public read only. And the last one is read only access on other users the record. And the last one is public read write. That means this user, now here if you refer to this diagram, so this A, this B and this C, so this A can have all the access on the record created by A. So on this 10 he'll have all the access, but at the same time this 10 record by B and 10 record by C, this also available to A as a read write. So A can read write on this 10 record, also read write on this 10 record. So that means, like, if A can do it, B can also do it. So it will be public read write. So anyone can see or anyone can edit anyone's record. That is public read write. What is public read only? So public read only means, as a user I can see others record, but they are read only to me. So B can see this 10 record, this 10 record in read only. C can see this 10 record and this 10 record in the read only. A can see this 10 record and this 10 record in read only. So A can have all the access on its own record depending upon what permission he have on the profile. We'll see that in a moment. But assuming that the A is having all the permission on his own record, but for this 10 record by B and 10 record by C, he definitely will have the read only permission, because the OWD is public read only, public read only. So it's a read write access on other users record. Okay. Now I will just try to jump to the bit scenarios now. Now, as I told you, there are two types of record. So first type of record is the record which is created by you, or in other words, you are the owner of that record. And another is a record created by other users. So for this, you are not the owner. So thumb rule is, if you like access, or I can say what access you will going to have on the record created by you will be only decided by profile or permission set. Profile or permission set. So what access you will have on the record created by you. So if you created some record, so what type of access you will have on that record. I'm again repeat, this is, you are the owner, you created the record, so no need to check the OWD. So if you are the, say, like for here, one scenario is you created the, say for example, you can, I mean, like, you are the owner, you created this 10 record. So what type of access you will have on this 10 record will be decided by the profile only or permission set. But what access you will have onto this other user's record, so whatever you created, that will be decided by the profile. But the record which is created by other, what access you will be having, what access you will be having on record created by other user, it will be decided by profile plus OWD, plus OWD. So you cannot just check the profile or permission set and decide the access. No, when it comes to the record created by other user, it has to be decided by the combination of profile and permission set and OWD. And if you are the owner, so no need to check the OWD. If you are the owner, that will be only decided by the profile. Okay, so now we'll say we have, say, two users. Okay, and we have a object called employee. These two users are having a same profile, so absolutely same thing. So they have read and write permission on employee object. Okay, employee object. So these two user carrying the same profile and they have a read write permission on an employee object. Now we'll create a kind of table here so that it will be easy for you to remember like how we can crack any scenarios. So we have to just follow the following steps. So I'll make it say profile here, profile of permission set. Then here we'll say the OWD, and I'll say a record created by me, and this is record created by others. Okay, the first thing, if on a profile, okay, so what I'll do, I'll assume that they have a same profile. So for time being, I'll say they have only a read permission here. So from profile, this both the user will be having a read permission on a profile, and OWD for this is private. So you know what is private means. I just told you at the top. Private means this, public read only means this, and public read write means this. Okay, so on the profile you have a read access and OWD is private. So what access you will be have on the record created by you, what access you will be have on the record created by you. So I told you, if record is created by you and you are the owner, if record created by you and you are the owner, no need to check the OWD, that will be only decided by this. So if you have a read, so you will have a read access. Okay, and the record created by other, so what access, as this user, what access they will be having onto the record created by other, or maybe say I'll say one user, same say one user some profile, and for profile right now he's having a read access. So there may be other users, so this user whatever record he created, that record he'll have a read permission, because on a profile he have a read. So I told you, like if the record is created by you, so only read permission whatever you have on a profile, read. But when it comes to the record created by other users, so you have to check both the things. What you have to check, you have to check read as, sorry, profile permission, permission set permission, or OWD permission. So the access on a record created by other will be decided by not only with the profile but also with the OWD. So here from profile he'll get the read access. Okay, fine, but says OWD is private, so only owner can see the record. So I'm talking about the other record. So here he can see its own record, but as the OWD is private, so he can see its own record. So these are not the own record, these are the record by other. So here, as the OWD is private, so he'll not able to see anything. No, he cannot see anything, because see, record created by means I am the owner. So I am the owner, so only this line will be applicable. So it's a read permission, the top one, this one. If I am not the owner and if I wanted to check the access on the record created by other user, so that will be decided by my profile, this combination plus OWD. So from profile I am getting read. So this I got read, but I'm talking about the record created by other user. So record created by other user, OWD is private. Private says only owner can see their record. So I am not the owner for this record. So if I am not the owner, I cannot see the record. So I am not see the record. So from this I am getting read permission, but this says only owner can see. So here I am not getting any permission. Yeah, we will write few combination, then it will be more clear to you. Now see, on a profile, suppose we have a read and write permission. So, and OWD is again private. Now we'll see. So now if OWD is private and from profile you have a read write permission, so record created by you or record created by the owner, I mean record created by you actually. So if you are the owner, so I told you for record created by you, you have to only check the profile. So what is there in profile? Read write. So what permission you will have? Definitely read write permission. But what about the record created by other user? So here check this one, check this one. So it says private, that means only owner can see the record. Are you owner of this record? No, these are the created by other user. So here also there will be no permission. Getting? Okay. Now see the other combination. We'll try to see the other combination. Let me just make it something like this. Okay. Now this is, say, other combination. Now again, suppose we have a read from profile and now you have a public read only. Public read only. Public read only. So now just try to decide the access on a record created by you or you are the owner. So again, just check these two lines. So first it says access will be given to the access you will going to have on the record created by use profile or permission set. So what access you have on your profile? You have a read. So on the record owned by you, definitely will have a read. Now here profile plus OWD. So now here also read, here also read. So see, I'm trying to guess the access on a record created by other. So this will be decided by a combination of profile and OWD. So from profile I can have a read and from OWD I have a public read only. So here is also read, here is also read. So at least read I will be having onto the record created by other. Record created by other. Let's see another combination. I have a read write permission and here OWD is again public, say read only. Read only. Okay, now see here, you are the owner. So if you are the owner, see this line, what you have on the profile? Read write. So this read write you will have. Now here it comes, the access. Now here bit tricky one. Now just see how we can decide the access. So for record created by other user, I need to check both. Okay, so from here I am getting the read write and from here I am getting the public read only. That means public, I can read the public record. So I can read. So here it's the read write, here is the read. So which one is the restricted one? Here it's both permission, here it's only one permission. So whatever is restricted will win. So here you will only have a read permission. So here it will be only read. It will be only read. Clear? Now we'll have the third combination. There will be one more combination, like after this three I'll give you a bit more idea on how we can. Okay, let's finish this first. So say on a profile I have say read and in OWD I have a public read and write, public read write. So if we have a public read write and on the profile you have a read, so what type of access you will have? What type of access you will have onto the record created by you? What type of access you will have? Now see, it's a public read write. From profile you have only read, so you can only read your record. So you cannot have a create permission or write permission. You cannot write anything, you can only read. Here from profile you are getting read, and here says public read write means read write access on a others record, but you cannot write because ultimately it's a read only, read here, it's a read write. So who is the restricted one? It's the restricted one. So profile say you are only getting read, and from OWD you are getting read write, so it will win. So you will only have a read permission here, you will only have a read permission here. Okay, then the last combination, it's a read write, it's a public read only, sorry, public read write. Okay, so here now guess the access, just take 1 minute and guess the access. Again the same line, so it will be, yes, correct, it will be read write. Now what about this, what about this? Yes. Now see, from here also read write and here also read write, so nothing is restricted. So on the record created by other user you will also have the read write permission. Here also you have the read write permission. Okay, so the record created by you, if you are the owner, just check the profile. If you are not the owner, so the access will be decided by profile and OWD. So which one is restricted, that access you will going to have on the record created by other user. Now one more thing here, on an object, we have two extra permission. So you might have seen two extra permission, that is view all and modify all, modify all. Now I'll tell you how we can check, like if the permission is view all or modify, what it means. So view all means it's a kind of read permission, modify all means you can modify as well, that means read and write permission. Okay, now we'll try to again make the same scenario here. Okay, what, so these are the two permission, these are the two permission generally available on an object, or I can say generally available on a profile level. So if you go to profile, if you go to object, you will find these two permission. So you will have read write create, and you will have a view and modify all. So this permission is available on the profile level. So these are the two permission which can override, I'll repeat, these are the two permission which can override the OWD. So how, I'll tell you. So I'll consider this as a permission from profile only. So same line I'll continue here. Say on a profile, if we have a view all permission, okay, and your OWD is private, again the same thing. So I'll make it here. So same table will continue. So now we have a view all permission from profile and the OWD is private. Now what access you will have, what access you will have on record created by you. So on a profile you have a view all, that means it's a kind of read permission, the read permission. So here you can have a read permission. Now here at the first level, what we said, like on the record created by other, if the OWD is private you cannot see others record, because private say you can only see your own record, the private say if you are the owner then you can only see that record. Yani if you are if you are the owner then you can only see that record. But here record created by you, so it's view all, it's read. So from whatever profile you have, abhi bola tha ke whatever access will going to have on the record created by you, that will be decided by profile. So here profile says, let me just divide this one here. Here profile says we have a view all. So definitely on record created by you or the record which you owns, on that you will have a read permission. But here first level, at first point we said If OWD is private, it will be no access. But now here, even though this private says you cannot see the record created by other, even though this private say you cannot see the record created by other, but this view all permission, this can override, this will overwrite the OWD. So what is the OWD is private, but ये क्या बोलेगा, no, this is not correct, I will be the boss. So what is the permission, read, so it will override this and this will be applicable. So you will have a, at least read permission if it is the view all, if it is the view all. Second, if it is the modify all, then modify all permission. So what is modify all permission? It is like a read and write permission. So if the OWD is private, now again the record created by you, so if you are the owner, then you can have a read write access. So it will be a read write access because on a profile you have a read write permission. See, it's a modify all. Now the record created by other, again here from OWD it says if you are not the owner you cannot see the record, but this modify all says no, that is not the true. Even though it's a private, but I will override this OWD. Now what this OWD, what this modify all permission sets, I'll override this and my permission will be the final permission. So what is the final permission? It will be read write. So you will have a read write access on this, you will have the read write access on this. Second combination, I have a view all and I have a public read write. So it will be a bit simple, huh? Public read only. Say we'll start with public read only. Okay, now tell me the access. So now again, if you are the owner, only this permission, so it will be read. Now here check both, ultimately this will going to override, so in that case also no need to check this, it will be override. So what is the override permission? Read. So here you'll have a read permission because this OWD is overwritten by this one. Again another combination, say I have a modify all and then OWD is public, say read write, sorry public read only, sorry my bad, public read only. Now here, so public read only, it's modify all. For modify all means read and write, it's a read and write permission. So now guess, now try to guess what permission it will be having. So again thumb rule says if you are the owner, only profile. So check on profile what we have, modify all. So you'll have a read write. Yes, you guess it correctly. And what about this? Yes, this is one, this is another one. So this will be override by this. So what you will have here, you will have read write. Getting? Okay, you have a read write. Last combination, we have a view all and you have the modify all. Now it's a read and it's a read write. Now again it's public read write. Yes, here it's public read write, and it's read. So which one is the restricted one? This will override. What it means? It says read only, so it will be only read. It will be only read, even though your OWD is public read, right? But from profile you have only read, and I told you like if you are the owner, your permission will be decided by only your profile level. So what is on profile? What you have only read, so it will be read. What about this? Here it says read write, but here it says only read. So which one is the restricted one? I mean, this is getting overridden. So sorry, this is getting overridden by this. So what is the ultimate permission? This one. So here only you have read permission. Last one, public read write. Public read write. And here I have, yes, very simple. What permission you'll have here? Just check. Here is also read write. Again, this is already overwritten by this. So here you'll have read write. What about this? Again, this OWD will be यहाँ पे तो you will check only this. For this one, you will check this and this. You will check, sorry, this and this. So both are read write. And again, this is modified, so this will be overwritten by this one. So your permission will be read write over here. Okay, so these are the permissions. These are the few permissions available. These are the few permissions available when we talk about the record level security. So what we have to remember is, we have to just remember, if record owned by me, it's only about the profile. If record is not owned by me, if record owned by someone else, so what access I will be having on that record, that will be decided by not only with the profile, with the OWD also. So it will be decided by combination of both. So this is what we observe here. So these are the all basic combination. So based upon this, you can just try to like check your problem statement belongs to which area. Okay, see, one of the problem statement I'll tell you, which I faced, like user said he wants, say there was an object, called, say customer, and user or client said, user, the better word is client said, the customer object be should be visible to everyone, that is at least read. That means, say there are, say, two users, A and B. So A created one record. Say this A created, I'll tell you something like this. This A created one record, and there is a user B. So what client says, A created one record, A is the owner, so he can see the record. But I want this B also see the same record in a read. In a read. Okay. So if this is the condition, what will be the solution? Like I'll repeat one more time. I have an object called customer, and my client said, I want this customer object's record should be visible to everyone, at least in read. So if I am the owner, so suppose they are having a same profile, or maybe, yeah, they are having the same profile. First we'll see, they are having the same profile. Okay, so record is created by a user A, they are having same profile. This record is visible, I want this record should be visible to B, I'm having the same profile. Now there are two solutions available. First of all, you'll directly thought of, like, let's make the public, the OWD public, make the public read, say, assuming that initially the OWD is private. Okay, so this is the initial condition. What's the initial condition? There are two users, they are having a same profile. So I'll repeat one more time so that it will be more clear to you. So there are two users, A and B. The OWD, there is one object called customer underscore C, and the OWD for this object is private. What client wants everyone, like how many, whatever maybe the user into the particular org, in that org I want the customer records will be visible to everyone, at least read if they are not the owner. Agar owner hai, so no issue, definitely he will be able to see that. But even though that user is not the owner, like here this A created one record, B is not the owner, so what I want, A to definitely dikhega hi, but I want to B also this record one should be visible at least in read only mode. So I want this. So how many you thought like for this the solution will be? How many of you thought initially just looking after this or whatever I discussed about this? How many of you thought like the solution for this will be public read only? कितने लोगों को लगा कि इसका सॉल्यूशन OWD पब्लिक रीड ओनली होना चाहिए? See, what will happen if you make it public read only? See, this is one of the solution, but what will happen? Say in a org, there may be, say these are the two user having one profile, but there may be another profile, or there may be another users, they having a different profile, So if you make it public read only, so it will be all the users, what I want like if the particular this like say in a one org there may be two projects, there may be two apps, one is say uh, customer app, one is say one is say supplier app and another is the consumer app. हो सकता है एक एक आपके ऑर्ग में अलग अलग टाइप के प्रोजेक्ट्स हो सकते हैं, से कस्टमर ऐप, इसका प्रोफाइल दे हैव सम डिफरेंट profiles and they have their different users. Here also they are having their different profiles and there are different users. ये सब एक ही ऑर्ग में हो रहा है, but they can use like the supplier also can use the object called customer, he can also use the object called customer, he can also use the object, this consumer app also use the customer. So what will happen if you make it public read only? Public read only means for this all profile, this profile plus this profile, all will get the read access, on that profile, sare users. But what I want only this particular profile, like because the supplier is the actually, like I want for this profile. So for this the solution should be, you go to your profile, even though the OWD is private, so private means only owner can see the record, but I can overwrite it, I can give the view all permission. So what will happen once you get the view all permission? So once you give the view all permission, so what will happen? All the users belongs to this profile, so that user may be the owner of the record or maybe not the owner of the record. So if you are the owner, like if that particular user is the owner of the record, there is no issue. But if that user is not the owner of the record, for example this one, they both have the same profile, so A is the owner of the record, so no issue, he can already get the access, but what about B? Because OWD is private, so I'm not changing the OWD, go to profile and OWD is private. Yes, I have not changed. The first solution was I need to change the OWD, so it will be a bit risky. I'm opening the access to everyone. No, I don't want to do that because I'll lose the security. So what I'll do is I'll say okay, for all my profile, so my this two user belongs to same profile, so for them I'll share the access. How? So I'll keep the OWD private. That means this one cannot see, like this profile cannot see, this one cannot see, like OWD is private, so only owner can see. But for this profile I'm opening the access by view all. So मैं इस profile पे जाऊंगा, whatever the profile the supplier app is having, on this profile I'll make the view all permission. So what will happen, say this is the profile, so they have a same profile, so is OWD is private, I have given on this profile say plus view all. So once I give the view all permission, what will happen here, once I give the view all, so if this user is owner, so there is no issue. But what about B? Even though this B is not owner, now see this combination from OWD, it's a private, okay, so it's a private, but I have a view all. Now see what happens if we have a view all, see view all, view all. So here you want to read, see here, see I have a view all. If I have a view all, even though OWD is private, I have a view all, OWD is private, what will happen to this one, see record by others, that combination, which combination, view all hai and OWD is private, I'm not changing the OWD, so I'm making it my system more secure, because if I open up the access, it will be open up for complete org. No, I don't want to do that, because I will lose the security. So I'm keeping my security intact, the security is as it is. What I'm making it, I'm making it just the view all permissions. What will happen, this combination will come into the place. So you will have, I'm talking about the record created by other, so you will have this access, you will have this access, getting my point. So even though the OWD is private, if we have view all, so on other record you can have at least read access, and that was the initial ask. I wanted to give the read permission for all the other user on the record which is created by other user. So here A created the record, so he will have the ultimate access because he is the owner. But what about B? So now this is the scenario, profile plus view all. So whatever there is in profile will be overwritten by view all. So what view all means, at least read. So this B will guarantee will have at least read access available. So that was the one of the scenario. Okay, so we'll stop here, and maybe I'll come up with the more scenarios on this in my next video. Thank you.